This time, our plans to take over the lease of a local restaurant have been rejected, and friends and residents come out in our support.
Très concerné par cette fermeture.
Definitely important for tourism, for the locals. It needs to stay.
Ça serait tout à fait triste et dommage de le perdre. Absolument triste et dommage, déjà qu'il ne marchait pas.
It's upsetting. So
Sad.
it's very sad.
Et je trouve que c'est fort dommage de perdre quelque chose qui pourrait faire venir bien plus de monde à notre très beau village de Fongrave.
And then the mayor came out, and we were surprised at what he had to say. To truly understand this administrative circus, we have to go back to the very beginning. Our original proposal some 2 years ago was to create a club nautique, a yacht club, in a derelict municipal building right by the water here in Fongrave. Our plan was simple. We would lease it, provided the mairie repaired the building to a sound standard first. We submitted the proposal. I'm heading to Fongrave to meet the mayor to talk about our new yacht club. Let's see how this goes. So the meeting went well, but I'm just feeling a bit flat.
Right, because you expected things to happen at your pace.
Yes, we've got another meeting in a month's time. And then absolute silence. We never heard a single word back. Behind us is the yacht club, or the proposed yacht club that we've spoken about time and time again. And we were really keen on doing it, and we've got a lot of experience. Look, I'm proudly showing my Royal Channel Island Yacht Club logo, because I was the commodore of that club for a while and gained great experience in hospitality and learnt how to love hospitality. And you were the manager.
For a few years, yeah.
So we decided we'd really love to get more involved with hospitality. So we moved on. By October of last year, we set our sights on a different opportunity. A small, functioning restaurant in the heart of the village, Aux Delices de Fongrave. To line up with our brand of Villa La Rive, we were going to call it Bistro La Rive. We met the owner, talked through his plans to retire, and suddenly this wasn't just a conversation, it was an opportunity. Not just for us, but for the village. By late October, we moved forward properly. So we signed the transfer of the lease with our lawyers and with the proprietor on the 18th of November. And then we waited. November rolled into December. December into January. And still no clear answer from the mairie. Weeks became months. The season crept closer, and we were left in limbo. Finally, we had our meeting with the mairie, and you can imagine our surprise when at that meeting he said, actually, I want to turn this little restaurant into a social club for basketball. And he said that's what his committee want to do too. We were told we'd have a decision by mid-February. But then March came along. And then here we are in April. And that uncertainty became very real. Because the blow from the final bureaucratic hammer landed. An email from our advocate finally arrived. It turns out that back on the 5th of March, whilst we were still waiting for a simple conversation, the local council had actually held a vote. They voted unanimously to completely terminate the commercial lease and legally change the destination of the building. The lease is dead. Our dream of Bistro La Rive was completely crushed. But what is clear is just how much this place matters. This was never just about a building. It's about a village. And when we started speaking to people here in Fongrave, well, that's when the story began. First up, Pascal. She's lived here for years and knows exactly what makes this village tick.
Ce restaurant permet d'avoir de l'activité dans le village, il permet de faire venir du monde, de rendre le village aussi plus attractif et donc il est très intéressant et très apprécié des villageois.
Ça
serait tout à fait triste et dommage de le perdre, absolument triste et dommage déjà qu'il ne marchait pas.
Caroline is another familiar face who used to frequent the little restaurant in Fongrave. She even had her 50th there.
There's a lovely community feeling here, and I think to be able to go somewhere where you can just sit and have a coffee or have something to eat or just to meet people coming in and out, I think it's really important because there isn't anywhere else here. So I think it's actually very important for people's mental health and well-being as well. And that's old, young, English, French, everyone really. So I think it would be a great loss. And for me it would be a great loss because I love the village and to feel part of that.
Then there's Joanne, based in the village, and she runs a bookkeeping service. She understands the local rural economy better than most.
Et je trouve que c'est fort dommage de perdre quelque chose qui pourrait faire venir bien plus de monde à notre très beau village de Fongrave. Je suis résidente depuis 9 ans maintenant. On a connu le restaurant et effectivement ça n'a pas été un grand succès, mais ça ne veut pas dire qu'il n'y a pas de potentiel. Un changement de propriétaire, un espèce de reboot, ce sera parfait.
It's not just the immediate locals who are suffering. Martin and his wife Liz run a highly successful manor house just down the road, dragging in hundreds of hungry tourists to the region every year.
On average, we get between 250 and 300 people a year coming through our property in Casamaron, as you know. One of the first questions they always ask us, where can we go to get some lunch? Yes, we're very fortunate, we've got a couple of restaurants in Casamaron, but this is so close to us. We're 4 kilometres away from our house, right by the river. I mean, look at it, it's just, you know, we love it. That's why ultimately we're going to live here. It's important, definitely important for tourism, for the locals. It needs to stay.
Liz felt so strongly about this situation, she even penned a speech in French.
Mon mari Martin et moi, nous adorons Fongrave et avons choisi ce magnifique village pour y élire domicile pour toujours. Nous sommes déterminés à nous intégrer pleinement à la communauté locale, quelle que soit la nationalité de ses membres, et nous aimerons beaucoup contribuer à son épanouissement. Nous soutenons sans réserve le maintien du bail de restaurant et souhaitons que Richard et Marie en reprenant la gestion à l'avenir. Nous espérons sincèrement que la décision de réaliser le bail du restaurant sera reconsidérée dans l'intérêt de tous les habitants de Fongrave.
Pippa is another Fongrave resident.
How important would this restaurant be for you?
Oh, terribly important, très important. It's just the heart of a village. It's somewhere that you can wander down in the morning, maybe with a dog walk, have a coffee, meet some friends. Even if you're not meeting anybody, you can just see other people, you feel alive. It's just a healthy place and somewhere to go that you can enjoy. And it's important for a village to have a heart and a centre. And we need this in a little village like Fongrave because there's so many lovely people from all over the world and it just gives you a chance and opportunity to meet your community.
Sandy runs a self-catering manor nearby. Her guests arrive hungry and ask for the nearest restaurant. And she now faces the thoroughly embarrassing task of pointing them towards the horizon.
For me, I've got guests that come to stay and they'd love to have somewhere to come. I mean, I promote it on my website, so that's going to have to be removed. Mine's all self-catering, so if they don't want to do self-catering one night, there's somewhere they can walk to. Now that's all gone out the window. So yeah, it's very, very sad. And it's a loss, a possible dépôt de pain, which would have been fantastic for the village.
Jim and Jill also live here in Fongrave and run a table d'hôte.
At the moment, anybody in the village, they have to go to Casamaron or Saint-Livrade to get bread. If we can have bread back in the village, be able to go get a cup of coffee, get your bread and go. But that's going to be a real asset to the village. I think one of the things that we've struggled with the most is quite often we have guests, and although we're a chambre table d'hôte, so they will have some meals with us, they want to go out. Really, the position we're left in is they have to leave the village if they're staying in the village. And you know, we've got the gîtes here, we've got other B&Bs in the village, and I think it's important that there's something locally for them.
C'est triste de voir fermer un restaurant qui pourrait parfaitement fonctionner. Donc on est très très concerné par cette fermeture.
vous habitez aussi dans la ville?
Oui, nous avons quelques chambres d'hôtes dans notre maison qu'on a ouvert là, dans la rue à quelques mètres du restaurant, quelques minutes, et donc c'est très utile pour nos clients quand ils arrivent le soir, ils savent pas où aller manger. S'il y avait quelque chose disponible pour eux, bien sûr, ça c'est un plus pour notre activité.
And David, who's moving to the village partly because he believed there was a restaurant here.
I think it's really important because otherwise everyone doesn't stay here, they go somewhere else. So, you know, and yes, there's other places. There's the pub in St. Liverod and you know, all kinds of other stuff. But here, you know, it's great to have it in the town you live in, where you don't have to get in a car, you don't have to plan it out. You can just, you know, pop over if you want to. So, yeah, it's great. It's really, it's upsetting. So
sad.
It's very sad. It's a loss for the entire town.
And finally, Simon, who lives in Fongrave too, and who's rapidly becoming the handyman of the lot. He relies on a bustling community to keep his business moving, and he simply can't understand why a council would willingly vote against local investment.
I think it's just going to bring more people to the village. I mean, it is a selling point of the village that it has its own little restaurant and cafe, and you go any small village in France, it has a restaurant or a cafe or a bar, and it just seems that Fongrave doesn't. Just anybody being in there and running it would be good. But the fact it's you guys, knowing the success you've made previously of other ventures, it's a no-brainer.
So with many of the village behind us, we were left with a completely unanimous council vote that defied all common sense. But then, there's a final twist in the tale. The mayor of Fongrave finally emerged for a rather candid off-camera conversation in the car park. What followed was a complex negotiation that essentially birthed a two-part master plan involving two completely different buildings. First, the original restaurant, a compromise was floated. Might allow us to take over the lease of the restaurant, but strictly for the 18 months remaining on the current contract. We could open the doors, serve the village, and prove the business works. But here's the catch. The second part of the plan involves the derelict building across the car park. The exact same building we looked at for the yacht club 2 years ago. We've come completely full circle. The mayor made it explicitly clear they would have absolutely no budget to invest in this building. So the long-term idea is that while we trade for 18 months in the main restaurant, we simultaneously use our own money to completely renovate the derelict building and bring it up to public safety standards. When our 18 months are up, we hand over the original restaurant over to his basketball club, and we move our business into the new building we've just paid to rebuild. Well, what a day that was across the river.
Seems like just yesterday.
It was. Oh, we've got some swans landing behind us. I don't know if you can see that. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, if nothing else, what has happened is it's opened the doors of communication again, which is a wonderful thing. So thank you so much to everybody that turned up and
thank you.
Gave their point of view. And I'm really excited as well that the mayor came out and had that conversation with us. So I've got to put the new proposal in for Monday morning, which I'm preparing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And but whatever happens, I think we remain optimistic. I mean, we might get that restaurant. It's a big maybe.
Yeah.
Or we might get the old yacht club proposal building. not so keen on that idea. The restaurant would just fit us so well.
Well, it would be up and running, wouldn't it?
Yeah, instantly. But the other thing is, if none of that comes to fruition, well, we'll just do table d'hôte or something like that, won't we?
Yeah, we're resigned to the fact that, what will be, will be.
What will be, will be. And there is some exciting news. So many of you have asked for our music and a way of getting hold of the music. Well, as of today, you'll find it on all good streaming platforms. We've released an album. Look at her face. So yes, the album is out there, and I'll put a link in the description so that you can find it.
As long as you don't play it every day.
So I think that about sums everything up, doesn't it?
It does.
So that's it.
That's your lot.
From the lot.
Until the next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This is France and we stay.